on Mornings on the Hill. Syracuse University is taking steps to make residence halls safer.
We give you a sneak peek into one of the dining halls on campus.
And a student artist is making an appearance to discuss their upcoming concert.
All that and today's weather coming up on this episode of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Shoshana Stahl. Thanks for joining us on Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Cheyenne Abrega. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd.
Our top story this hour, in an effort to increase student safety, the Department of Public Safety has taken the first steps to hire 90 full-time positions.
Our Alex Peebles is live in studio on what DPS is doing to ensure the safety of students.
By the spring semester of 2020, the Department of Public Safety will expand its residential security aid program. This program will provide 24-hour staff coverage in every residence hall at Syracuse University. For this to happen, 90 residential community safety officers will need to be evaluated and hired. Anyone hired will have to be certified as a New York State licensed security officer. Yesterday, at an open house, DPS accepted dozens of applications from community members interested in these positions. Safety officers will operate in 10-hour shifts with rotating days off. The university is offering every new hire for this role $500 after completing 2 years of service. DPS Chief Law Enforcement Officer Tony Callisto believes it's important for community members to know they are eligible to apply for these positions, and these positions come with unique benefits.
They can buy into the university's medical benefit plan. They can go to college themselves. They can go to take university classes up to 12 credit hours a year as part of the job. If they're here long enough, if they're here 3 years and 11 months, they will then earn dependent tuition benefits so that their children could go to Syracuse University on the job here. So,
this hiring process begins coming off the heels of publication of the Syracuse University Yearly Crime Report. The report shows an increase on in-campus burglaries from 2017 to 2018, as well as a significant increase in drug law violations on campus. On the flip side of that, we have seen a decrease in most major crimes on campus, including rape and other sex offenses. DPS says that hiring of the 90 safety officers to the staff residence halls is not a result of the crime report for the 2018 academic year. DPS believes the new initiatives that were rolled out this semester will help deter crime on campus and will strengthen the safety of students. Reporting live, Alex Peebles, Mornings on the Hill.
And a Syracuse University freshman is doing more than just hitting the books.
Dana Casulo is live in studio with more on this student's success.
Thanks, guys. At just 18 years old, Newhouse student Nick Zala has gained quite the following on Instagram. He's even caught the attention of professional athletes through his graphic designs.
Imagination is a big key.
Syracuse University freshman Nick Zalea has been designing graphics since he was in middle school. Everything he knows is self-taught or from watching YouTube tutorials.
Over time, I watched YouTube videos, hours and hours of YouTube videos, way past my bedtime at the time. And the talent came. I just kept practicing, and over time I enjoyed it.
YouTube helped his hobby become a reality, while social media became an outlet for Zalea's work to be noticed. Zalea says he owes his success to Instagram. His account now has over 4,000 followers.
Without social media, I wouldn't be doing this probably. It has helped me. I've built a small business. I have interacted with athletes across the country that I thought I would never be in touch with.
His graphic designs even caught the attention of pro and college athletes, the most notable being NBA All-Star D'Angelo Russell.
So I just created some artwork for my page for fun, and he just happened to notice it. And I made a couple more pieces over time. We talked a little bit through DMs.
Not only does Zalea create sports graphics, he also designs for new music artists. Zalea says this is a whole different thinking process and perspective.
With sports, it's more broad. I can do whatever I want. But with an album, they want specific, they want their cover to look a certain way.
To purchase Zalea's images, head to nccnewsonline.com. The link is in our bio. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Dana Casulo.
Thanks, Dana. One thing we all have in common is our love for food. Everybody eats, especially here at Syracuse University.
Starting this morning, we have a new segment, Eat and Tell, where we are taking care of your appetite by showing off some of the fine fare our dining halls have. Sharif King has more from a food court here on campus.
Thanks, you guys. I'm here at Kimmel Hall to eat and tell you what's on the menu. Why don't we walk inside and take a look? And we're inside Kimmel Food Court. Oh my God, it's Keone. How are you?
Nice to see you. I'm Keone Weigel. I do the marketing and promotions for Syracuse University Food Services.
Nice. So can you give us a walkthrough of what we have inside the food court?
Yeah, let's go. All right. So, this is Dunkin' Donuts, everyone's favorite. We open up at 7:30 in the morning on weekdays, so everyone can get their coffee and their iced coffee. Do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee. How about you?
Yes, I do.
This one is called the Tomato Wheel. I know pizza anywhere I see it. I love it. How about you?
I love pizza, and this is our own concept. They're artisan pizzas. We make our own dough, and we make our own toppings. We have specialized pizzas. We also have these twists and these knots, garlic knots, and these little wheels are just a pack full of goodness.
So here we have trios. Does it have anything to do with the number 3?
So when we first came up with this concept, it was a slider concept, and you would get 3 sliders. That's where the trios came from. But basically it's your burgers, your sliders, your chicken, this is where you would get your waffle fries or onion rings. So that's where trios comes from.
Tell me exactly what you like about this specific spot right here.
Well, quesos, you can mix it up. You can have a quesadilla, you can have a rice bowl, you can have tacos or nachos or burritos. Then you choose your ingredients and they make it for you. What's better than made for you?
Okay, Keone, so I've got my full course meal down packed.
Yeah, you have.
I gotta have dessert
so much
now.
for the skinny burrito.
Amazing. I'm so full, but I have to have dessert.
Right.
Tell me where we are and how we can do this.
Well, this is Haagen-Dazs. This is the only place in campus where you can get Haagen-Dazs, and as you know, it's deluxe ice cream. There you go.
So I got my ice cream.
I'll go get you a
I'm
spoon.
full. Please.
I'll be right back. But I will hold your mic.
You've been a great, great sport.
You
Let's
first.
dig in.
You're first. You're the guest.
Okay, here we go. Same time, shall we?
Cheers. That's the real deal.
Yeah.
Flavored e-cigarettes are now illegal in New York. Starting this Friday, stores can't sell the pods or even have them on the shelves. This is due to an emergency 90-day ban that aims to protect children from chemicals in the flavored nicotine pods. The ban follows a series of illnesses connected to vaping. If a store is caught with flavored e-cigs once the ban takes effect, they face up to a $2,000 fine.
The House Intelligence Committee subpoenaed President Trump's private lawyer on Monday. Rudy Giuliani's alleged role in Trump's phone call with Ukraine is being questioned. The subpoena seeks documents in connection to Trump and Ukraine's president's attempt to probe 2020 presidential candidate Joe Biden. Democrats have also requested documents from 3 of Giuliani's associates. Our Alexa Roth is live in studio this morning with sophomore design students Emily Goldberg and Ivani Benares.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined this morning by Emily Goldberg and Yanni Benares, who are 2 design students at SU who got to attend the Spring 2020 Preview Fashion Week in New York City. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Excited to have you. So Emily, tell me a little bit about what it was like being at Fashion Week. You've always loved fashion. What was that experience like for you?
So for my entire life, I've always been looking at runway shows and following Fashion Week, and even in school we learn about designers and shows, so to actually be there for the first time and be able to contribute to that atmosphere and, you know, dress up and go and enjoy and see it in person it's amazing and a dream come true.
Everyone dreams of it, I'm sure.
I was just breathtaking when I went there. I've always been drawing and sketching fashion when I was younger, and then to see those things come to life was just like breathtaking.
And Yadi, what designer show stuck out to you the most when you were there?
When I went, Tawa Wang stuck out to me the most. All of her pieces were just like breathtaking. All of them are ready wear, so everything was ready to wear outside the show.
And I know you mentioned you are a shooter, you like to design shoes. Tell me a little bit about that and how that got started.
So when I was younger, I always got into sneaker designing. I was just always buying sneakers, and then I was like, I want to start drawing sneakers. I want to start making sneakers. And then next thing I knew, all my sketchbooks, math homeworks was filled with sneakers. And then that started to transform into clothing as well. And then it was both menswear, women's wear, then bags, accessories, anything you could think of. I was just drawing, and that's how it took off.
That's awesome. And Emily, everyone who's invited to Fashion Week dreams of being up front and seeing the latest trends. Can you tell me a little bit about those trends and something that you saw that really inspired you to come back here and design and work?
Yeah, so definitely like Yanni said, like the ready to wear, but kind of the enhanced ready to wear. So everything's, a step up, and it stands out definitely. And one thing I noticed was a lot of emphasis on, women's workwear and kind of making that like a cool thing and not so much like, the typical blazer and pants, like giving women more options for that. Also the idea of like gender neutrality and giving clothes to people who, have issues with that, and making it easier for everyone to shop and find things for themselves.
That's awesome. And Yanni, I know you said you designed the sweatshirt that you were wearing, and you got to go to Champion and do all that. How was that experience for you?
That was just amazing. The whole Champion studio, when we went there, that was crazy because everyone's wearing Champion sometime of the day, and seeing how everything was designed, seeing what the future holds for them, was really impressive. Then going to the Soho store was just amazing. I got to choose out from all these options. I ended up coming out with this, and this was just crazy. The whole team there was amazing. I got to make some amazing contacts and learn some great things from just the team and staff there.
That's awesome. And Emily, what was your biggest takeaway from going to New York Fashion Week?
Going to New York Fashion Week was definitely an amazing opportunity to kind of like work in the field, if that makes sense, like kind of go and learn and see it in person. And I definitely came back to school feeling super refreshed and open-minded, and like knowing that there are so many other possibilities other than what I'm learning in school. And so that's why like in fashion, experience is the most valuable way of learning, because there's only so much you can learn so much in a classroom, but to actually be there and to see people with jobs that you would have never expected was amazing.
Is there anyone that you looked up to that was there at Fashion Week that you got to meet or hang out with or talk to?
Yeah, we got to go with IMG College, which is through IMG Agency, and all the people that worked there were just so inviting and welcoming and wanted us to learn and wanted to give us this experience and, wanted to further our careers. So that was really inspiring, and that's definitely something that I would want to help younger students do.
That's awesome. And everyone wants to go to New York City for Fashion Week. What was the atmosphere like? Was it crazy? Was it exciting?
It was like the outfits that we saw there were crazy. You get an idea of what's to come in the future, as well as just who else is also interested in the same thing as you, and that's something really cool because you're finding other people there that all have similar interests, and they all are into design. They all have some aspirations into designing and working in that field. And maybe you'll see some of them in the future, and that's the cool part.
I hope so. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Back to you, Shoshana and Cheyenne.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, the Marshall and Syracuse University are gearing up for a legal battle as construction wraps up on the apartment complex.
And if you're planning on taking a trip downtown, you're going to have to feed the meter a few extra quarters to park. Stay with us for those stories and more here on Mornings on the Hill.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. The city of Syracuse has struggled economically for years and remains one of the nation's poorest cities.
Reporter Alexandra Jennerjohn is here with us to tell us how this issue is affecting our school systems.
After turning down a job with a law firm in Manhattan, former SU football captain and now current SU master's student Sam Rogers moved back to Syracuse. He says if we want to see a change in the city's economics, students have to commit to this community after graduation too.
It'd be great to have them stay. The thing is, there needs to be the jobs that are attractive for them to stay, and to make that happen, there has to be, companies and businesses developing in Syracuse that would also attract people to move to Syracuse.
Because of the lack of Syracuse residents and business growth, Syracuse City School District also continues to battle poverty.
Over the past year, its poverty rate was ranked the 9th highest out of the 50 upstate New York school districts. Rogers says his love for the community has pushed him to become more involved.
And through different opportunities, I was able to get involved and go to the schools and just see that there is opportunity because they're underserved in a capacity. And there's opportunity to encourage, to inspire, to make changes.
According to Syracuse.com, there's over 21,000 school-age students living in the district, and nearly 10,000 of those students are under the poverty line. SU senior Sloan Gallagher has been a literacy core tutor for Salem Hyde Elementary School for 3 years. And she says when she started her job, she went through training to prepare for the poverty she may encounter.
Sometimes I will see kids wearing the same things over and over again. Sometimes kids won't have winter coats and the teachers will have to buy them for them.
Gallagher says because she's seen the impact she can make on this community and the kids, she has considered staying after graduation. She adds that more students won't feel that conviction unless they explore the community outside of Syracuse University.
They don't really explore the community because they think it's like bad, but like these kids every day I see them and they're just really just trying their best. You know, it's a lot. It's hard to get by sometimes, but they're really just trying their best.
Rogers says that the city has seen upgrades since he first moved here as a college freshman, but it still has a long way to go. He recently announced his interest in running for Senate against Rachel May, who also has ties to Syracuse University. She was a former SU faculty staff member, and Rogers believes his visions for the community can become a reality if he's elected for office. I'm Alexandra Jenner-John for Mornings on the Hill.
And Syracuse University is suing the developer of the Marshall Apartments, claiming that they breached their contract. A path between South Cross Avenue and Marshall Square Mall was closed during construction of the apartments. The path did not reopen on the agreed-by date last year. In the contract, the developer said they would pay a fee of $1,000 every day the path was closed past that date. SU sent an invoice of the late fees to the developers. They are seeking nearly $250,000.
Vera House and the Survivors Network are presenting their annual report. This marks the 30th year of the report to the community on domestic and sexual violence. It provides community members with resources in Onondaga County, legal services, community partners, and current programs. Vera House is also celebrating the 10th year of the 12 Men Model, a program promoting men's health. The presentation is tonight at the Everson Museum and will begin at 5:30. It is open to the public with free childcare available. The Rosamond Gifford Zoo said goodbye to their beloved Amur tiger, Toma. At 18 years old, Toma was the oldest male Amur tiger in human care. Zoo officials say the cause was an abdominal issue complicated by old age and cancer. It was on September 18th that Toma was diagnosed, and after consultation with veterinarians from Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine, officials decided to euthanize Toma. Toma leaves behind not only his legacy, but his mate Tatiana, a 20-year-old female Amur tiger. Zoo director Ted Fox added the Syracuse Zoo has plans to acquire another pair of Amur tigers.
With Parkinson's, they lose just about everything. They lose strength and power, agility, hand-eye coordination, cognitive ability to plan a strategy, to think quickly. And if you think about boxing, those are all the things that boxing challenges.
Rock Steady Boxing in Syracuse is a boxing gym exclusively for people with Parkinson's. 60 boxers, all in different stages of the disease, come to classes every single week. There is no cure for Parkinson's, but Van Beveren says staying active can help slow the progression of the disease. He says that when people get diagnosed, they often feel alone, but the gym allows members to meet other patients with Parkinson's.
Tagline for Rock Steady Boxing is hope in your corner. I think that's exactly it. Instead of being at home isolated and depressed, they really have hope for the future that they can fight back against this terrible disease.
Parking prices have increased in Syracuse from $1.25 an hour to $2. Jillian Andrews tells us that the decision isn't sitting well with everyone.
Thanks, Cheyenne. Instead of increasing property taxes, the city of Syracuse has chosen to increase the parking rate per hour. This 75-cent increase is a way to bring more revenue to the city. However, some people say it's just too much.
and I got to pay $2 for that? That's unfair.
Customers in downtown Syracuse are not happy with the new price of street parking. The first deputy commissioner of finance at City Hall says that she hears complaints from the public regularly.
Parking is something that everyone loves to hate.
Maywalt says City Council looked at cities similar to the size of Syracuse, like Rochester and Buffalo, to determine the new parking price. She says there really isn't a solution to please everyone.
And you don't get to park cheaply. It's a commodity, and there's a price for it.
Here in downtown Syracuse, small businesses are feeling the effects of the increase in parking. They're having to take money out of their own pockets in order to pay for their employees to park during their shifts.
I subsidized their parking for them. It's just another expense for me, yes. But, you know, in order to get somebody who doesn't want to work here because of the parking, it's a good incentive.
The owner of Kathy's Cookie Kitchen says her employees' hourly rate isn't enough to justify paying parking meters for a 6-hour shift. That's why she helps pay for the employees' parking.
Does take away from what you're making. You know, if you're making minimum wage or close to minimum wage.
To work in her bakery, you need to be able to park on the street.
A lot of times we do deliveries, we are dropping off supplies, or we're running out to get supplies, so it's nice to have our cars nearby.
The good news, Deputy Commissioner says the city won't have another street parking increase anytime soon. Jillian Andrews, Mornings on the Hill.
And a Syracuse student will be taking the stage this Friday.
Our Michelle Knezovic is live in studio with more.
This year will be the 2019 Bandersnatch concert at Syracuse University. The concert will be featuring 3 artists, one being a special student who was selected as a performer, Kahari Brandes, but professionally known as Troyes Patones, a junior at Syracuse University from London who has been DJing since he was just 12 years old. The headlining acts include Coffee, a reggae singer from Jamaica who has actually worked with Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber on their remix version of the song I Don't Care. And the second headlining artist will be Duckworth, also known as Jared Lee. Lee's most popular song is Start a Riot, which was featured in the Spider-Man movie. This song has over 35 million streams. Bandersnatch is a concert that will be held in Goldstein Auditorium on Friday at 8, so if you guys wanna hear some music, head out there. But still to come on Mornings on the Hill, Morgan Trow has your full weather report, so stick with us. We'll be right back, guys.
Layers. So, Morgan, do you have any good news for us today?
Well, if you have hay fever, or if you're allergic to pollen, you know, the rain obviously washes that away. So you should be feeling good, and you can probably get some relief from that.
I know this is a little early to ask, but can we expect some snow this fall?
Honestly, we've had snow here in the past. You know, I don't know if it's going to be Syracuse tundra as December, but October has had some snow later in the month, so we can watch out for that, but it definitely will be there in November.
Oh, I really hope so.
Well, that's going to do it for us today, Wednesday on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Shoshana Stahl. Follow us on social media at Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Cheyenne Nobrega. We'll see you next Wednesday live here at OTN. Have a great day.